second graders, it's actually time to make our elf. We did our elf persuasive writing, and now we actually are going to create our elf, and then we're going to put it all together to make a really fun project. So the first thing I like to do is get out all the things we need to make our elf, which is a piece of our red construction paper, our green construction paper. I'm going to leave that here. Our hat, our face, or if you got a photograph, your photograph. And then you're also going to need your shoes and your mittens. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to just carefully cut out all of these. So go around and cut them out carefully. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to cut, and then I'm just going to stop the video so you don't have to watch me cut everything. But obviously I'm going to be cutting out not only my mittens, but also I'm going to be cutting out my hat, and I'm going to be cutting out my face. The one thing I'm going to show you really fast is that when you do get time, if you're using your photograph, you don't have to necessarily cut out your head. But if you are using the head, what I would suggest is you cut your hat out first. If you'll notice, your head is kind of big, and that's just the way it printed. And so what you could do is actually cut out your hat and then place it on your head, and it'll give you kind of a way of how you could trim your head to make it fit your Santa hat better, so that your head actually isn't so much bigger than your hat. So I'm going to show you really fast what I mean. So you're just going to cut here, cut out your Santa hat just like this. And then before you cut your head, you're going to simply just grab a pencil and kind of just give yourself an outline of where the hat's going to end up. So let's just do that really fast right now. And so I'm looking at it, and here's my hat, and here's my head. So what I'm going to do is, maybe you think this is cute, maybe you want a big, really big head, or what you might want to do is kind of outline that the hat only goes to this far on the head, and then cut in a little bit more into your head to make it a shape that would fit your hat. You can watch me do that if you like, and then that way you fully understand what I'm doing, or you can go ahead and stop the video right here and just get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to start cutting out my head, but I'm actually going to cut in quite a bit so that my head isn't nearly as big as my outline here. And that way I have my ears and all that, but that way I don't have such a big head when it comes to my hat. So I'm just gonna, then I'm gonna go around and I'm just cutting into it a little bit more. And I am following the measurement of what I predicted my head size should be with where I marked my hat. So this should be a good representation of how big my head should be. So the neck's a little long, but we can trim that up later once we make our, here we go. So I just got it like this, and if you see my new head, it actually fits my hat better. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video, keep cutting everything out. Once you get everything laid out that you've cut out, start the video again, and then we'll get started putting it together. See you in a minute. Okay, now I have everything cut out. I shaped my head just to double check that I did a good job evening out my head since I had to cut in a little bit. I like to fold it right in half, and then I like to see if that sides match up. And then if they don't, I can actually trim it a teeny bit to make sure that there, voila, is symmetrical and the same on both sides. Now I have everything cut out with my hat, my gloves, and my shoes. It makes it really cute if you want to pause the video right now and go ahead and decorate. Color your hat, color your gloves, color your shoes. If you have cotton balls, you're going to be able to cover this part of your hat or even the pom-pom of your hat with a cotton ball, so you can use that. To continue on, after you color, you're going to need a glue stick, and you're still going to need your paper right here. Okay, so pause it and color, and if you're not going to color quite yet, then keep following along. First things first is we're going to do the elf's jacket. Well, this is our jacket. And what I like to do is, because we're going to put our piece of paper with our elf application in the center of the jacket, I like to fold it in half to make sure it's really even. I take the paper, I line up the corners, line it up like this, then I can put it down on the table and crease it. Now I know that it's exactly in half. Well, this doesn't look much like a jacket, but I do know where my center line is. And so now what I'm gonna do is take one half and bring it into that center line and have them meet. And then I'm gonna take the other half and have it come into the center line and have them meet. So that now I have my two sides of my jacket meeting in the middle like this. The reason I did that is because I like things nice and neat and even. And if I just tried to fold it right off the bat without making that center line, I probably wouldn't fold it very evenly. So now I have my jacket ready to go. Well, it sort of looks like a jacket, right? So what I like to do is I like to curve down, fold down my side. So a little jacket, well, it needs like a little kind of collar. So I take again my corner, I match it up to the edge here, and before I crease, I make sure these are both matched up, and once they're matched up, then I crease to make my rectangle, so I have a really cute jacket. And I'm gonna do again for this side. I'm gonna match it up just like that on the edge to edge on the opposite side, and I'll show you before I do that right here, and then I'm going to crease it down just like this. So now I've got this cute little jacket. So now what I'm going to do with the jacket is that's where my application is going to go. So I actually can just take my application and I'm going to glue that inside. Let's go ahead and do that now.